Okay, so for this class, we are going to start with the unit why reading improves my English abilities. Okay, reading is one of the skills or abilities that we need to learn a second language. We need to read, we need to investigate and learn vocabulary, and it's very important reading. Do you read? Martin, welcome. Hello. What do you read? Do you read things apart from the cell phone? Because we are reading the cell phone all day long. What do you read? Benjamin, do you read something apart from cell phones, apart from classes? ¿Lees algo?
Yes.
Yes, what?
I'm I'm reading the books.
Okay.
Books
Yes.
and poems.
Oh, that's good. Martin, what about you? Do you like reading?
Yes.
What do you prefer reading?
I prefer read books the sport.
Sports. Okay, very good. Montserrat, do you read the newspaper sometimes? Do you read newspapers or news, or do you prefer watching the news at television?
The television.
At the television, yeah. I receive El Mercurio every day, but I prefer reading the newspaper, but I also watch the movies. I have different books that probably you read. When we are at the school, we read a book, right? We have classes and we have to read the exercises. I was making a course. When you make a course, for example, this one, I was reading how to drive a car. So I had to study and read questions and answers because I wanted to learn how to drive. Yes. Do you remember this? Books that you were reading at school, right? So sometimes you were reading, we English teachers say, okay, we have a reading test. When I was at the university, look, I found my dictionary. This dictionary, this is the Oxford Learners Advanced Dictionary, is in English. English. So for example, if I want to look for a word, for example, the word convey, the definition is in English. Everything is in English. Do you see? So I had to put English in my mind. This is the way my teachers made me study English at university. Not English and Spanish, but English and try to understand. What about you? Do you read the Bible? Here I have a Bible. Do you read the Bible? Or your family, do you read the Bible?
No.
No? And you, Benjamin? No. Monse, do you read the Bible?
Ay, mi, no la escuché.
¿Lees la Biblia? Do you read the Bible?
No.
No. Tienen que leerla porque aquí dice, todo el que entra a la clase de inglés será sabio. Now, this is good. Okay, so it's very important because here we have important information for our life. Or what about this one? Do you like Condoritos?
Yes, I like.
Yes. Well, Condoritos is an old magazine, but even though it is old, it is interesting and funny, right? So when we read, we can go from information from Bibles, which are for life, reading for investigation, reading for having fun, etc. When we read, we have to understand that we have to improve. Improve means mejorar. Okay, so the idea is to improve the way you read. And why reading? Because reading is very important. For example, it increases your mental health. If you're reading continuously, your brain is working, so you're going to be more intelligent. You have more knowledge. of course, for example, I didn't drive. Now I drive. So I had to study this book, and now I know the law. For example, when you go in the streets, you know that you have to stop, you know what to do or react in front of something. So we get more knowledge. Knowledge es más conocimiento, right? Books are good. Yes, books are good, yes. Even though sometimes we don't read, but books are good. For example, Romeo and Juliet. Romeo and Juliet is a beautiful and romantic story. So you can act, you can have information about literature, etc. It says that in all revolutions, books plays important role. Hoy día hay una revolución social, por ejemplo, en nuestro país, ¿cierto? Empezó en octubre del año pasado, quizás con las votaciones van a haber más revoluciones sociales, y todo eso se va escribiendo en libros, libros históricos que van a quedar para sus hijos, sus nietos, y ustedes van a recordar que ustedes lo vieron a través de televisión, o vieron en las calles gente marchando, protestando. So books are part of all revolutions. Then reading is very important because all the great leaders love to read a lot. Okay, so the leaders, for example, presidents or presidents of the countries, they read discourses or speeches. Yes, they love reading their words. And books need your attention and do not allow to sit on them. So los libros son para leerlos, y dice, y no para sentarnos arriba de ellos, okay? Because they give us a lot of information. So when you learn a second language, which is English, we need to learn and read a lot. Look at here, the impact of reading. When you read, okay, for example, 20 minutes per day, you will, look at this, it says, a student who reads 20 minutes per day, you will be exposed to 1.8 million words per year. If you read 5 minutes per day, yes, you will be exposed to 282,000 words per year. And if you read only 1 minute per day, you will be exposed to 8,000 words. So of course, if you want English in your life and speak in English, the vocabulary is very important. So we need to read in English, okay? Read is very important. So look at this box, this picture, it says, reading makes me feel on top of the world. Yes, because I know a lot of information. Or reading is the key to learning. La llave para aprender, right? Because for example, in my case, I opened this big dictionary and I learned a lot of words because I was reading and I was checking the meaning. And reading is food for the mind and soul. Yes, leer es el alimento para la mente y el alma. Claro, muchas personas dicen, ok, yo voy a abrir la Biblia y voy a leer algo. Alimento para la mente y para el alma. Hoy me siento triste, voy a leer Condorito, voy a reírme. Alimento para la mente y el alma, porque me hace feliz. O por ejemplo, ya, hoy día quiero estar súper informada para hablar con mis amigos. Voy a leer el diario. Alimento para la mente y para el alma, porque puedo interactuar. You see, so we have a lot of impact when we read, okay? So, I'm going to teach you today some steps that you need to follow. As we are four, is Maria Emilia, Montserrat, Benjamin, and Martin. We are four connected. So I need your help. So Monse is in a car, but Benja and Martin, you can help me. Okay, you can help me because probably you are at home in quiet. So you're going to help me to read because this class is for reading. So please put your microphones on. Okay, prender los micrófonos. And Martin, you will help me with this line. Can you read the first point? Steps to read the first point. Read this.
Okay. First, read and select your answer.
Very good. Thank you very much. So when we read, sometimes we are going to read and there are questions. So with the questions, we can understand what I am going to read. Benjita, can you help me with number 1? ¿Puedes leer lo que está en negro, por favor?
Yeah. How do you think you will react in a life or death emergency situation?
Emergency situation. Very good, Benja. Excellent. Yes. How do you think you would react in a life or death emergency situation? I'm going to read number 2. If you caught a plane tomorrow and the flight attendant began giving the safety information, would you? And then we have some alternative. It is a question. Martin, can you read this one in this side, number 3 in this side? What would you do?
Okay. What would you do if you were hiking alone in the mountains and you got completely
Lost.
Without phone
Coverage. Coverage. Sin cobertura de teléfono, without phone coverage. Okay, so the questions that we have here are questions about surviving. So look at the woman here, it's in a plane. This man probably is in the mountain, right? Here you have a number 4, it says, what would you do if you woke up in the middle of the night and thought that you could hear an intruder in your home? Okay, so ¿qué pasa si sienten que hay un intruso en la casa y despiertan en la noche? Of course, we are going to feel that we are in an emergency. El sábado pasado, por ejemplo, yo estaba durmiendo y me llamó mi vecina por teléfono como a las 4 de la mañana, muy asustada, y yo dije, uff, deben estar robando. Y me dice, hay un incendio al frente. Y mi esposo fue bombero, entonces lo desperté y él sobre reaccionó. ¿Dónde? Abrimos la ventana y había unas tremendas llamaradas al frente. Y él se vistió muy rápido y partió para allá, y yo también. Y tuvimos una emergencia con los vecinos porque se incendiaron una parte de su casa. Entonces, cuando hay emergencias, ¿sí? Como en este texto, hay preguntas que nos van a llevar a conversar sobre eso. So, number 1, for example, how would you react in a life or death emergency situation? Yes. For example, let's see. It says, do you think you would react in a life or death emergency situation? A, I'd panic and become hysterical. I'd freeze and wouldn't be able to do anything. Or I'd act coolly and calmly. ¿Cómo reacciona Benjamín si hay una emergencia? ¿En pánico, te congelas o calmadamente y piensas?
Así.
Letter C.
I'd act coolly and
calmly. Very good. Excellent. Yeah, because your personality is very calm, right? So probably you are not going to be hysterical. But what about you, for example, Montserrat? Monse, would you think that you would be hysterical? Sorry. In an emergency, Montserrat, if you...
No se escucha.
No escucho porque estoy en el auto y estoy entrando a un lugar.
Yeah, don't worry. Okay, yeah, so sometimes we can be hysterical or enter into panic. Yes. In number 2, it says, if you caught a plane tomorrow and the flight attendant began giving the safety information, would you listen but not take it very seriously? Carry on reading your book or magazine, or pay attention and also read the safety information in the seat pocket? Probably someone that is very intelligent will select letter C, pay attention, because if you are in the flight and there is an emergency, you need to know what to do, yes? Or number 3, which is repeated here, number 3 here, and number 3 is also here, sorry. It says, what would you do if you were hiking alone in the mountains and you got completely lost and you don't have the phone? Yes, if you don't have the phone, Martín, what would you do? Estás sin cobertura telefónica en la montaña y te perdiste. A, I'd stay where I was and wait to be rescued. B, I'd keep walking and try to find my way to the destination. Or C, I try to find my way back to where I started from. A, B, or C, Martin?
C.
C, you try to find your way back?
C or A.
Or A, or wait, right? Because if you continue walking, probably you can be worse lost, right? Lost, and you walk and you don't know what is going to happen into the mountain, right? Right. So as you see, it's the text. What is the text about? We're going to read a text. Do you imagine about what is the text? Is it about being in a restaurant or being in an emergency? Of course, these questions moves you to think that the text we are going to read is about emergency or something related to emergencies, because you have to react in your life or in an emergency situation, okay? Hello, Bego, welcome. Okay, now we have one more student. The second point is read the article. Once you have some questions, now we have an idea about what the text is. We are going to read the article. So now I'm going to present an article, and what we have to do is to concentrate in the yellow vocabulary. Generally, in our English books, you always have some text, and the text present yellow words, okay, such as these ones. Why? Because the text, I don't know if you see, yes, there are some yellow words, because the book intends you to think about the questions, the vocabulary, specific vocabulary, and we can think about the meanings of the words, okay? So this is the text we're going to work this week. The text says, how to eat an elephant. Si yo les dijera que para sobrevivir se tienen que comer un elefante, ¿cómo lo harían?
No sé, ni la menor idea.
Martín? Thank you, Benjita. Begoña?
First I go to cut the elephant.
Okay.
And then make a fogata.
Right, to make a barbecue.
Yeah.
But it's very difficult. It's a big animal. Begoña, any idea about eating an elephant?
No, sería muy raro.
Y no sabemos ni siquiera el sabor, no sabemos si nos va a gustar. So how to eat an elephant is the story that we are going to read today. And if you see in this text, there are some yellow words. For example, overwhelmed, challenge, overcome, manageable tasks. We have the word stunned, bewildered, rational, and keep calm. ¿Quién conoce alguna de esas amarillas?
Yo, challenge, es como reto.
Yes.
¿Ya? Rational es como racional.
Yes, it's very similar to Spanish. Excellent.
Keep calm, sería como mantener la calma.
Very good, excellent.
Y Funet sería como esto de choqueado, ¿no? Y paralizado.
Stunned es aturdido, así como estoy aturdido,
como
¿no?
aturdido.
Very good. Okay.
Y la otra no me la sé.
Okay, Benjamin, you deserve claps. Very good. Yes, these are the meanings. What about the rest? Overwhelmed? Overwhelmed is abrumador o abrumado. Okay, de repente cuando hay una emergencia, we feel overwhelmed. What is the meaning of overcome?
Overcome es como superar algo, ¿no?
Very good, excellent. This is superar. Because here it says they try to teach you how to overcome this feeling, cómo superar ese sentimiento. Very good. Manageable tasks. Task is a goal. Yes? Task is a goal, una meta. Cuando uno se pone como desafíos, tasks. Manageable tasks son desafíos o metas que yo puedo superar. Las puedo manejar, más bien, perdón. Manejar, manageable tasks, right? And on the other side, we have, well, Ben has said stand, which is aturdido, yes. Bewildered, bewildered means desconcertado, okay. Desconcertado. Rational is racional, de una forma racional, rational way. And keep calm is when you are quiet, right? Okay, so the question is how to eat an elephant, and there are some yellow words that give us an idea. So this is a text. This text says the lessons of the Survivors Club. So we were talking about emergencies, but the idea is to survive, okay? So we are going to read this paragraph. I'm going to read this text, and after the text, we are going to see if you understand, okay? I'm going to read. If you want to help me reading, you are welcome to read with me, okay? So once you want, you say, Miss, stop. I'm going to read, okay? So I offer the possibility to read. Does any one of you want to read, or do I start? Okay, I start. How to eat an elephant, the lessons of the Survivors Club. At least 80% of us react in the same way to a life or death crisis or emergency. We are simply overwhelmed. The challenge seems too great, the problem insolvable. In Air Force Survival School, they try to teach you how to overcome this feeling. One of the things they ask new cadets is, how would you eat an elephant? And they make them memorize the right answer, which is, you eat an elephant one bite at a time. Te comes un elefante de una mordida a la vez. Survival means dealing with a huge life or death problem, one which you may not be able to solve quickly or all at once. The key to survival is to slow down and divide the challenges into small, manageable tasks, one goal at a time, one decision at a time. When an avalanche buried the survivors of a plane crash in the Andes, the survivors whispered to each other, breathe, breathe, breathe again. With every breath, you are alive. In a hopeless situation without oxygen or light, this approach kept them going until they found a way out. Okay, I'm going to stop in this first part. So in this first part, when there is an emergency, we have to select how you will react. And we can react with crisis, with panic, or we can solve the problem step by step, right? And when the cadets in the Air Force Survival School ask them how to eat an elephant, they say, me como un elefante, da una mordida a la vez. No me puedo comer un elefante de un viaje todo. Tengo que ir paso a paso. Es figurativo, right? So, when there was an accident in Los Andes, hay una película que se llama Viven, que es un accidente que ocurrió con un grupo de rugbyistas que cayó del avión en los Andes. Eran uruguayos y ellos sobrevivieron, no todos, pero sobrevivieron. Pero dice que una de las cosas que tenían que hacer y se daban aliento era breathe. breathe again. With every breath, you are alive. Porque si uno deja de respirar, muere. Por lo tanto, al concentrarse en sobrevivir, uno logra seguir viviendo. ¿Okay? Ese accidente fue fatalísimo. De hecho, en la película sale como un hermano finalmente termina incluso comiendo carne de su hermana para sobrevivir. La hermana ya había muerto. Y lo obligaron a comer o si no se moría. Y lo comió, finalmente. Es como bien crudo, pero era la forma de sobrevivir. Ayer se conmemoró la sobrevivencia de los 33 mineros, perdón, los 33 mineros en el norte, ¿se acuerdan? 10 años atrás.
Sí.
Another example of surviving. Ya, y a cada uno de nosotros nos puede pasar. De hecho, nosotros estamos sobreviviendo una pandemia. Y cuando seamos viejitos, vamos a contar quizás todo lo que hemos hecho este tiempo para sobrevivir a esta gran tragedia también. Porque es una tragedia, right? Okay, so I'm going to finish the second part. It says, this and much more. This and much more is what survival expert Ben Sherwood tells us in his best-selling book, The Survivors Club, which brings together stories of real-life survivors from all kinds of disasters. He begins by explaining the 10, 80, and 10 principle. When faced with an emergency, 80% of people freeze. They are stunned and turn into statues, or are so bewildered by what is happening around them that they can't react. 10% lose control. These people scream and cry and often make the situation worse. But 10% keep calm and behave in a rational way. Benjamin says, no, miss, I'm very calm. Okay, Benja, you are in the 10% of people who keep calm and behave in a rational way. They don't panic, and they assess the situation clearly and take decisions. These people have the best chance of survival in a crisis. And Sherwood explains how you can try to become more likely them. He also reminds us that apart from staying calm and not despairing, knowing the right thing to do in a crisis is also vital, and that in most emergencies, many more people survive than don't. For example, most people think that you can survive a plane crash, but American research has shown that the survival rate in all air crashes is historically 95.7%. Sherwood not only tries to show us how to behave rationally and calmly, he also gives us the information we need to join the Survivors Club. Okay, so in the second part, it explains what happened with the people, how people react. They are panic sometimes. And 10% only take decisions. So when we have an emergency, you have to take decisions. Does any one of you taken a good decision in an emergency? ¿Han pasado alguna emergencia si han tomado alguna buena decisión que ustedes recuerden?
No. Bueno, en mi caso no.
Ajá. Y ahora en la pandemia, porque es una emergencia sanitaria, ¿qué decisión sabia han tomado?
Que stay in the house. Stay in the house.
Very good. Stay at home. Yes.
Stay at home.
In your house. Excellent. Do you like masks? The mouth coverage? This one? I have this one. This is mine, for example. I hate the mask. I hate this one. I don't like it. But I think it is, we have to use it, okay? We have to use this because if you don't use the face or the mouth coverage, you will have problems and you can receive the virus. So rational way, keep calm, rational ways, right? And we can survive. Well, as you see, in this reading, we ask questions about emergency, then we check the yellow vocabulary. Some of you, Martin, Benjamin, you explain some meanings of the word, And now we know what the meanings of the word means, right? You know what the text was. Now, the third point when reading is reading comprehension. Do you understand? Answer the comprehension questions. So it says that reading comprehension is the ability to process text, to process the text, understand its meaning, and to integrate with what the reading already knows. Entonces vamos mezclando. Uno cuando lee es un proceso y ese proceso después de hacer como un barrido con los ojos sobre de qué se va a tratar el texto, lo leo, entiendo algún vocabulario, aprendo nuevo vocabulario y voy mezclándolo con el conocimiento de mundo que yo sé, como por ejemplo emergencias en este caso, experiencias que nos pueden pasar y uno contribuye al texto que está leyendo y relaciona y de esa manera uno entiende mucho mejor. So this is reading comprehension. But we teachers in the school, we try you to understand better. So at the school, we write in the board, do you understand? And we put a lot of questions. But questions make us understand and use the vocabulary. So it says answer the question and work with the vocabulary. For this week, you will have to, after reading the text again, you will answer these questions. For example, one says, what is the key to surviving in a life or death crisis? Number two is, what is the 10-80-10 principle? So you can investigate about that. And number three, what is the other important factor apart from keeping calm? You can be calm, but what other factor is important to be safe? And the second activity is look at the highlighted words and phrases or the yellow words and try to work out their meaning. Okay, so here you have 8 words, so you have to complete this. For example, number 1 is ready for you and it says overwhelmed. And overwhelmed is an adjective and it means unable to react because the emotion is too strong. So I am overwhelmed, abrumada, yes? I don't know what to do. I don't know how to react. Well, the next exercises you have to complete at home with this. Number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 using the yellow words, okay? Only the yellow words, and you can complete the exercise. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No more words, so you have to put. Benjamin gave some meanings, right? So you will help us to do the activity. And this activity, once you finish with this reading comprehension, it says after reading the article, send a picture of your answers, exercise B and C, to Aula Virtual next Wednesday, okay? So you have 1 week to read again this and do the exercises. Why? Because after this, we are going to continue working in this unit. This unit or these exercises are part of Unit 5A, okay? Unit 5A in the book, and the name is The Survivors Club. So we are going to start analyzing this unit. If you have the book, the activity is at page 44, okay? 44 and 45. Yes, 44, 45, here you have the text and you can work with the book. But if you don't have the book, don't worry because the information is the same that you have in this PowerPoint. Okay, so to close the class, why reading is important? Do you remember why reading is important? Martín?
No, es que le iba a preguntar si lo podía repetir de nuevo, pero ya lo repitió. Que no había entendido qué era, pero ya lo dijo.
Okay. But is important reading, Martin?
Yes.
Yes. What happened when you read? In your brain, what happened?
Está trabajando como, no sé.
When we read, you can get vocabulary, for example, right? So here you have the importance of reading. Increase your mental health, yes. You have more knowledge, más conocimiento. Books entertain, yes. We gave the example, for example, of Condorito, it entertains. Or a good reading, a romantic reading, yes, help you to be good. And the books are not chairs. Yes, the books are not chairs. The books are for learning and learning and learning. So the importance of reading is this. When you read in a second language, you get vocabulary and information. And in the first language too. So I motivate you to read and improve the English abilities. Okay? Okay, my dears. So, any question about the activity? David, sorry, I didn't say hello. So, any question?
Perdone, ahora sí. ¿Cómo estás?
Fine, David, nice to see you, nice to greet you.
Estaba comiendo, Miss. Estaba almorzando.
Excelente, ¿qué comió?
Estaba pollo.
Estaba
comiendo pollo.
Yo ahora voy a almorzar. Y de ahí tengo una reunión toda la tarde, tenemos reunión con el colegio. Okay, so if you don't have questions, do the activity, don't forget, do the activity and send the activity to Aula Virtual. Okay?
Sí. Sí, todo perfecto.
Leer el texto y contestar las preguntas y me lo envían. Okay?
Ya.
Okay, that's all.
Perfecto. Muchas gracias, Miss.
You're welcome. Un gusto haberlos escuchado. ¿Por qué no los vi?
Igual.
Ya, cuídense mucho. Goodbye.
Que le vaya bien, que
Muchas gracias, Benja. Igual a ustedes, cuídense. Goodbye. Bye bye.
Chao.